Alright, y'all. Hello, how are you? I haven't made a video in a while. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie. I was I was recording earlier, but then I had a whole mishap. But I am back. I was kind of reminiscing on my videos earlier today, and then I was like, you know what? I should do a little update, cause I've been going through it, but not as bad. Also, I still need to fix my bed, so that's pieces of my bed frame. Let's ignore that. Disclaimer, some of the stuff that I'm gonna say is probably gonna be a little bit gross, or yeah, a little bit gross. So yeah, disclaimer. So last week, man, life was just testing my patience, I guess. I don't know, my faith. It was a lot. So basically, I'm on my way to work on Tuesday, right? And I'm having a good day. I just finished swimming. I try to swim every morning. Honestly, I've been slacking. But yeah, I try to swim every morning. So I just finished swimming. And I'm on my way to work. As I'm on my way to work, I see this bug. It looked like a mosquito, just flying near me. So I'm trying to flick it off. And then I feel it my hip is getting itchy, it bit me, right? I was like, what the hell? I didn't think anything of it though. So I get off the bus, and then I see another mosquito on my arm, and I just kill it. Again, I didn't think anything of it. So while as I'm on the bus on my way, the last bus on my way to work, my chest starts feeling tight, and I didn't really know why, because I'm mind you, I hadn't eaten breakfast yet. I just finished swimming, and then so I'm just that's weird. Anywho, I get off the bus, and as I'm walking to work, my chest still feels tight. So I'm this is weird, and my hip is getting itchy, and I'm oh, okay. So basically, trying to see, what do I want to do for my eyes? I might do a little bit of blue. I haven't done a colorful look, or looks in general, because of what happened last week. So basically, I get off the bus, I'm walking to work, my chest still feels a little bit tight. So I'm maybe I'm just dehydrated, because I just finished swimming, I haven't eaten anything. So then that's my logic, right? So I drink some water. My chest still feels weird though, and I'm itchy. So I finally get to work. I'm settling down. I'm putting down my stuff, and then I'm putting my food in the fridge, because I always meal prep, because I'm not gonna keep spending money over there. Anywho, so I'm putting my stuff down, like I said, and then I'm still really itchy. So I'm this bug must have really bit me up. But again, not thinking too much of it. Yeah, so yeah, I didn't think much of it. I finished putting my stuff down, and then I finally go to the bathroom. And then as I'm in the bathroom, I lifted up my dress. Why are you being nosy? I lifted up my dress, because I was wow, this is real itchy. So I lift up my dress, and I was real chewed up. It was bad. But it didn't even look oh, just regular little mosquito bites. It looked that had devoured me or something. I'm is this? So mind you, my chest still feels really tight, and then it looks really bad rashes. So I text my manager and I was like, something bit me, and like my chest keeps feeling really tight, and I'm sorry, but I'm gonna have to go to the doctor. I was like, cause I am kind of freaking out, cause my chest keeps getting tighter. So I'm on my way to the doctor's, and I'm kind of freaking out because, like I said, my chest keeps getting tight, and then I'm like, this can't be okay. This can't be normal. So I get to the doctor. I'm like praying on my way there. I'm like, God, like I'm trying to trust you. Like I know, like what it's your will, regardless. Like whatever happens, it's your will. And yeah, so I get to the doctor, and he's just like, this is strange. I'm like, right. And yeah, so basically, like, he's like, all right, so this is what we're gonna do. I'm gonna give you some steroid injection, and you just take your normal, like, allergy meds that I always give you. I was like, okay. So I'm like itchy throughout this whole time, right? So then my mom probably picks me up from the doctor, and then like she takes me home. I take a cold shower because I'm like, I don't really know what else to like do in this situation. I've never had an allergic reaction to anything that I know of. So then I'm like telling my mom, I was like, has this ever happened to me before? She was like, the only time you flared up like this was like that one time that like you got allergic to like the raspberry cough syrup, because like my smart self decided to like, I guess, try to like overdose when I was when I was 4. I drank all the like raspberry cough syrup, and after that, every time that I would like have anything raspberry flavored, it would like, my body would just freak out. Anywho, so yeah, so basically my body's still like flaring up. I'm still like freaking out with everything. But that night, I think like I still like slept, but I was flaring up all day. So after that, like I was still flaring up for a couple days. But then, so I went to the hospital the very next day after, because I was still flaring up, and I'm just like, okay, like whatever the doctor like did, it obviously didn't really help. So I'm like, all right, let's go to the doctor again. Let's go to the hospital. So this time I went by myself to the hospital. Not a very smart thing to do, because what happened next freaked me out. So basically, I'm at the hospital, and this let me turn this off. This nurse, oh my goodness, it's probably my boyfriend too. Oh my god. So yeah, your girl got in a whole relationship by the time like I last posted. Gross. I'm happy as hell though. I'm not gonna lie. Anyways. So yeah, so like I'm at the hospital the first time. So I went twice last week. And that's when like the nurse was like, oh, like, yeah, you're having an allergic reaction, so we're gonna put IV with like steroids and Benadryl. I'm like, okay, I've never had an IV, by the way. And needles freak me out, ironically, considering the amount of tattoos that I have. But that doesn't mean I didn't freak out every time. So there's that. Yeah, so basically like I have like an arm that like the veins pop up more, which is my left arm. So I told her, do it on the left side. Why is this lady stabbing me and talking about some, I can't really find your vein? And I'm just looking at her like, what do you mean? Like, I literally see it right there. And I'm just like trying to keep calm, because it's just like I don't even be like the type of person that like is like confrontational anymore, or like tries to argue about the slightest thing. And I'm just like trying to keep calm throughout the whole situation. Yeah. So basically, like, she stabbed me twice, and then basically like I started kind of like bleeding out. And I'm trying not to have a panic attack, because it's just like I'm by myself. My service in that room just started like lagging really bad, so I couldn't text my mom, I couldn't text my boyfriend, and I tried to call my mom and it said called failed. That's when I was like, oh, I'm kind of freaking out. I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of freaking out. So basically I'm like I said, I'm kind of freaking out. And that's when I'm like, okay, God, please just like give me the patience. Like I trust that anything that's gonna happen, it's your will and your will only. And you know, just try to like keep me calm. Like I want to trust that everything that is happening right now is your will. So I kind of like start calming down. So I didn't look at my arm anymore after that, because I seen like the cotton was like soaked and it was dripping out of my arm. And then she's telling me, can you lift your arm up like that? And she's cleaning me up. I didn't want to look. So then I'm like turned around. I see like side eye, like she's like wiping down the floor and everything. And then I'm like, I don't even want to know. I don't want to know. So then later on, like after she does put like the meds and everything in me through the IV, that's when this other nurse comes to pick me up, right? And then I looked down at the floor. There was so much dried up blood. I was like, oh, that's on me right there? That's on me right there? That's crazy. But yeah, that definitely was on me right there. And I'm still kind of like, the bruise went down so much more now. It was so bad. I'm so happy it's healing. But yeah, so basically it was bad and I was freaked out. But while I waited for like the meds to like kick in, my flares went down. Mind you, I was flaring up for a good week straight. It was like flare, then not a flare, flare, then not a flare. Like, it was weird. So basically the very next day, because literally anything that I would eat would make me like flare up again really bad. Like I was like rejecting everything. So then the next day, after the day that I had like that very bad experience at the hospital, my mom made fried fish. So I'm pescatarian, so that's all I eat, fish. Like fish and like any seafood for real. So yeah. So what's I want to say? Oh yeah, so I'm like really hungry, and I'm over here feeling like, okay, it's okay, like I can eat and I'll be alright. So basically, I was not alright. I'm like mid eating, and then my chest starts getting really tight again. And then I feel myself starting to flare up again. So I try to like not panic. I'm like praying again, because I feel myself about to have a panic attack, because I'm like, oh my god, like I'm literally feeling like I'm gonna die. But then I'm like, Marian, like, you know, freaking out isn't gonna do anything for you right now. Like, if anything, it might just make things worse. So try not to freak out. So I'm over here trying not to freak out. And yes, I'm trying not to freak out. And I tell my boyfriend what's like going on, and then he's like, I'm gonna take you to the hospital because that doesn't seem okay. I'm like, okay. So basically, he ends up taking me to the hospital, and I'm like, but like, don't let them like leave me there alone, because I'm really scared. I'm like, cause like I was freaking out because I don't like to see the blood, and then that lady really made me feel uncomfortable because she wasn't even like apologizing when she did that to me. Like, she was just like, oh, are you on blood thinners? Because that's not supposed to happen. And I'm like, no, I'm not. Yeah, so basically, yeah, so like my boyfriend is in there with me. And it was funny when they put the IV when he was there, because like it was the weirdest feeling ever. So when they put the Benadryl in there, like I was like, and then he said that the nurse and him were like freaking out because they were like, you literally just like froze and looked like across the room. And then I'm just like, I was like, why does that feel like that? And then I said something like real out of pocket because it really felt out of pocket. And then yeah, like it was funny. But he was like, I thought you were seeing the Matrix again. Because according to him, when I went manic, it was me seeing the Matrix. I'm like, dude, sorry to burst your bubble, but your girlfriend's just mentally ill, bro. Wasn't seeing anything. I was just tripping. But yeah. So throughout all of that was when I learned, this man really does love me or whatever. Because I'm not gonna lie, like I kept having like my guard up like real bad. I'm like, I really like him, and it just feels like right. Like, this man feels like home. But I'm not used to good things, bro. So I feel like this kind of like was like kind of like an eye opener. Like, there are people that care about you out here, and it takes you almost dying to like realize who those people are. And yeah, like he was like on top of it, taking care of me and stuff. I'm like, oh, I really appreciate my man. He's a blessing. And throughout this like whole like situation, like we ended up going to like church group together. I'm working again, so that's good. But it was just very scary in the sense that like I really couldn't eat anything like at all, like without flaring up. And I still have to go to like an allergist to like find out like exactly what it was. But like I like the fact that through all of this I did keep calm for the most part, because it's just like I would just pray. Whenever I felt like I was losing my mind a little bit, I just prayed. And that's kind of like last time I talked about how like that's kind of like the only thing that was holding me down, because at this point I was scared to go swimming, because I'm like, I don't know if I'm just gonna like flare up real bad in the pool, or I don't know what's gonna happen. So I'm scared to do anything at this point. My boyfriend decided to like take us out on Friday, and then my face started flaring up even more because I decided to wear makeup, and I hadn't stopped flaring up, so I don't know why I thought that was a good idea. So then my face started flaring up even more, and then I really wanted to cry. I didn't end up crying because like we were out, but like I really wanted to cry because I'm like, oh my god, like I look terrible, like this looks bad. And then yeah, like it was just looking real bad. It was looking crazy. And yeah, so basically like that day, like we just got sushi, and then I was like, can we just go home, bro? Like I don't want to be here anymore. So we ended up taking the sushi home, and then yeah, like we just had a good time. And then on Saturday we just slept in, And then I took him to group with me, which was really fun. I really liked the fact that like he got to like experience that, because I love my Jesus more than anything. And I tell him that all the time, and I'm like, look, you are very special to me, but God comes before anything. Before me, before you, before my family. Because at the end of the day, the only one that was there for me, the only one that knows my heart, the only one that knows my pain, and that will love me regardless of what I do, is God. I'm like, because the day of tomorrow, if I do some really messed up thing to anybody that loves me, your love ain't gonna be the exact same. And that's the thing, like, I try to like tell people in my life, and I'm like, you can mean the entire world to me, but if I have to pick you or God, I'm picking God every time, because that's the only one that always had my back. Because like the last couple times that I was like making videos, like I was really going through some dark times, bro. And the only thing that sustained me was God. And then like I like start feeling like really bad whenever I like start doing like dumb things again, because I'm just like, man, like you're backtracking a lot, girly. Like that's not good. So I try to like kind of like remind myself, like, look, man, like God is not a game, bro. It's not a game. He doesn't treat you like a game, so you shouldn't treat him like a game. So I try, for the most part, like I've been doing a lot better with like not listening to like worldly music. I try to like mainly listen to like gospel now, and it feels nice. Like I haven't really felt like the urge to like want to listen to other music lately, and I don't know, it's just more like peaceful to my heart. Yeah, but you know, I went to a confession last week too, and I was telling him like everything that was going on, and he was like, you gotta kind of like be patient. You're not gonna be like the perfect like Catholic overnight. Like just take your time, and you know, love yourself, and don't be so hard on yourself. And it's just like, I feel like that is something that is like really hard for me to do, is like to not be hard on myself, because I always feel like I have to do good, or like I'm not doing good enough, and I'm just like, okay, like you're doing okay, but you're not doing as good as you should be doing. And it's just like, it's cool to like, you know, want more for yourself, but it's just like at the same time, like, please just like take it easy, girl. Like at the end of the day, you're doing better than you were last year. And that's another thing that recently I was kind of like reminiscing on, like how like for a while, like my depression was really bad. Like it was really bad. And it's just like I was really neglecting myself. I was neglecting my cat, and it was just bad. And then now I'm like, wow, like look how far I've come. Like now I meal prep for myself for work. My cat doesn't just eat dry food and he isn't like being just like fed that same dry food from like earlier that morning. Like no, like he eats his, well, both of them, now there's two babies, they eat their dry and wet food in the morning and in the evening, and they always got fresh water now. And then it's just like, I feel like people that don't have like real, like, I guess like intense mental illness, it doesn't seem like a great accomplishment. They're just like, oh, but like that's what you're supposed to do. But it's just like, it's easier said than done when it's not you who loses motivation to just exist sometimes. Like whenever I fall into depression, it's not always sadness, it's just like lack of motivation to just do like even like the simplest tasks. And then it's harder when everybody's just like, you're just being lazy, because it's not the case, bro. Like I wish I had the motivation in that moment, but sometimes I just like lose it. But I've been trying to like remind myself, look, Marianne, like you've come a long way, and for someone with bipolar disorder, you're like very like functioning, and that is something to be proud of. So I am proud of myself. And I don't even know like what this video was really supposed to be about, but it has been made. I don't like these lashes, not one bit. I might just change them because they look crazy, real bad. Like these actually, let me see. Ooh, those look real bad actually. They did look really bad. But yeah, like I've been trying to tell myself like, look man, like you've come a long way. Be proud of the little victories. Because at the end of the day, they're victories. And it's all in God's timing, not yours. And I've been like kind of learning to like be grateful for the bad times as well. Because sometimes I feel like when it's not your timing, it's not your timing, bro. Like, you just gotta be patient. Because God is always on time. As I said before, He is always on time. Because He's not in a rush. You are. And, yeah. Like, throughout this, like, whole time, it really taught me, like, again, like, that love isn't words, it's actions. And I'm really happy. Like, I know I'd be making mistakes and stuff, but I know God knows my heart, though, at the end of the day. And He knows that I'm trying my best to do right by Him. I just gotta kind of, like, keep, like, motivating myself and, like, not let the enemy, like, win in the aspect that he'll, like, make me feel, like, terrible for making mistakes or, like, tempt me to make, like, the slightest little dumb thing. Because at the end of the day, nobody's forcing me to do this stuff, and it's my will. Like, if I'm gonna follow God, I gotta follow Him all the way. So the good thing is my God is a God of new beginnings every day, and every day is a new day with my God. He's like, oh, you did what yesterday? I don't think so. I don't remember that. I'm like, are you sure? Like, I don't remember that. Like, all right, thanks. But yeah, like, I've been feeling like more at ease now, and I've been like learning again to like kind of let my guard down a little bit more with my boyfriend, because it's just like, at the end of the day, whatever's gonna happen is gonna happen, and it's, again, as always, it's God's will. And I try to tell God all the time, if this man is not for me, remove him. And He's like, nah, He's for you. Because, like, I feel like that's, like, the prayer that God will always answer the fastest. If He's not for me, remove him. The amount of times that I've been saying that, and this man will not leave, I'm like, alright, I guess, if He's for me or whatever. But, like, nah, I'm really happy. I'm really happy. I just need to learn to, like, allow myself to be happy, though. But aside from that, everything's cool. I'm not flaring up anymore. I was finally able to eat on Sunday, and that's another thing. Like, my mom over here cracking jokes, talking about some, oh, at least like you've been losing weight. I'm like, girl, I've been miserable as hell. It's not a flex. But I guess. Yeah. But overall, like, the girl's still trying to like remain in faith, and like, I'm trying to trust that God has a plan, and everything's happening for a reason. And I just gotta trust that God already won these battles, man. I just gotta be patient and trust the process. But anywho, y'all, that's pretty much what's been going on over here. But from the last time I made videos, I feel like I've been doing a lot better mentally. Like, I haven't been on the, oh my god, I want to off myself anymore. And like, things with my mom has gotten a lot better. I've just been learning like to kind of like keep things like a little bit limited. But I do want to have a better relationship with her. I'm trying. And I feel like she sees me changing as a person too, so it doesn't like force her to like try to like do things that are like really out of pocket, because it's just like, for what? All she does is like swim, go to church, work, and then now that little boy, which my boyfriend is really, he's a cool dude, bro. I mean, I really like mellows me out. Like, he's really calm and stuff. And I'm really happy. I've never been in a healthy relationship, so this is different. But I like it. And I'm gonna just do a little bit of highlight. And then I'm good to go. I'm about to go to church group in a little bit. Which today he isn't gonna go with me, unfortunately. But he had things to do, so it's okay. Yeah. But overall, life is good. Yes, I almost died last week, but life is good. Almost. I'm still here. And that's all that matters. My lord say, no, not yet, girly pop. I'm like, alright, babe. But yeah, like, I think life is like really looking out for me. Like, for real, for real. I just really like, I'm doing better. Appreciating the little things, because it's all about the small victories, as I said. But I hope y'all have a blessed day, and thank you for listening to me and like my random thoughts. Yeah, love you lots. I'm gonna try to like make more videos, even though like this one's just kind of like really random. But again, yeah, have a blessed day. Love you lots.